Roast it, mince it, smash it, leave it whole. How is it possible to have so many ways to prepare your garlic? Furthermore, why does it even matter? In fact, yes, it does matter. And I'm going to tell and show you how and why. Welcome to Summer Bakes the World. Summer here, baking traditional dishes from around the world, providing some history and lots of tips. So join me on this journey, whether in my kitchen or yours, and together we can discover the world. Until a few years ago, I never really cared why it mattered how I prepared my garlic. And then I learned why, and it changed everything. The 4 most common ways to use garlic in your recipes are to roast it, mince it, smash it, or leave it whole. So today, let's delve into each of these and learn more. Let's start with the first prep today, which is roasting it. I can smell it now. It's going to be so good. The first step is to preheat our oven to 400 degrees. And I'm going to use my toaster oven because I don't want to heat up my whole house just to roast a garlic. So let's preheat the oven 400 degrees. To roast your garlic, you're going to need a few items. We're going to need a piece of foil to cover our garlic. I'm going to use a little roasting pan from my toaster oven to set the garlic in. You need a good sharp knife, cutting board, some olive oil, some salt, and of course a whole head of garlic. You're going to remove the extra little papery covering on the outside of the bulb here. So then we're going to take our knife and we're just going to simply cut off the root part of this garlic bulb. And you want to cut about 1/4 to 1/2 inch down to where we can expose the garlic cloves. We want to be able to see a lot of them. The purpose of cutting down to the garlic cloves is so that these are exposed and it can soak up the olive oil and the salt. So once you cut off the root end, we're going to take our little tray here in foil and we're simply going to drizzle olive oil over the cloves. We want to rub this olive oil in just a bit, make sure that it gets nice and inside of the cloves. You can remove more of the paper if you want. All right, so we've got our garlic cloves covered in oil. We're gonna sprinkle with some salt, a little bit of seasoning, and then we're simply just going to seal up the garlic clove. You want to seal it well so that nothing leaks out of it. So there you are. All we have to do is stick it in the oven and let it roast 30 to 40 minutes and check it. Once it's caramelized, we know that it's ready. You can also put your garlic clove, if you've got several that you want to do, just get a muffin tin, stick your cloves in the muffin tin, season them like you would with olive oil and salt, and then just cover them with foil, and you can do the same thing if you want to roast more than one at once. Okay, let's put it in the toaster oven and let's see what happens. The garlic is ready, so we'll take a look at it and see how caramelized it is. I actually let mine go for a full hour. And you can take it out at 30 minutes. Some people do 30, some 40, 45 an hour. I really wanted my garlic caramelized today, so I went a full hour, but you do need to check it. I checked mine about every 10 minutes after the 30-minute mark. You need to let it cool because you're gonna have to use your hands to squeeze out the garlic cloves from the paper exterior. So you wanna let it cool before you touch it. It's been cooling for a few minutes, so let's take a look at it. Okay, so let's open it up. And let's look and see what we have here. Okay, we have a piece that broke off. All you do is you squeeze the end of it and the pulp just falls right out. Look at that, look how pretty that is. Caramelized, this would taste wonderfully by itself. You don't need to put it in anything. So the rest of it, you would do the same. Just take the end of it and just squeeze it, and they all just come right out. And if you do need to, you can use a fork to pull out some of them, or just use your fingers if it's cool enough. That's not a problem. So if we have some that are a little stubborn coming out, just put your little fork down in there and just pull it right out. So there you go. Roasting garlic decreases that pungent raw garlic flavor. When it's caramelized, it provides a sweet and smokiness to your dishes, thus providing a great aromatic. So what can we do with roasted garlic? Oh my goodness, there are so many things that you can do. You can simply just use it as a topping for your salads. You can smash it with a fork and use it as a condiment on your sandwiches. You can swirl it up into your creamy soups. You can add it to mashed potatoes, mashed cauliflower. You can mix it in with your hummus. Pretty much any dish where you want a little bit of smokiness and a little bit of sweet. I like to think of roasted garlic like the love of your life. It's so special. You don't want to share it. All right, let's look at the second way to prepare your garlic, and that is to mince it. It is the one way that most recipes call for prepared garlic, and there are 2 easy ways to mince your garlic. So I tend to buy my garlic as the bulbs because I like to use it in different ways, but you can also buy garlic that's already peeled, and you don't have to do this next step, which is the easiest way to remove the skin from the garlic is to whack it. So that's what we're gonna do. Just take your knife, place it on top of your garlic, and with your hand, just whack it, and then the skin just falls right off. Now there are two ways that we can mince this garlic. You can get rid of the end if you'd like. It's your personal preference. I like to just cut it into little chunks first, and then just take your knife and run it through back and forth until you have it the size that you want it. And remember, when you're scooping up your garlic or any fruit or vegetables that you're cutting on your board, use the dull side of your knife so that you do not compromise the integrity of the sharpness of the sharp side, and it keeps your hands safe. And then that's the mincing part. So that's the easiest way to mince your garlic, is probably using that knife. Now let's look at the other way. Depends on when I'm cooking. Sometimes I go for the knife, sometimes I go for the microplane. So let's get that ready. We'll smack it, remove the skin. All right, now for this, all we have to do is put the end of your microplane on a solid surface so that you have control over it. Take your garlic and then just scrape it down back and forth. And all you have left is the little root that you can throw away or put it in your dish. It's up to you. So you can see the microplane cuts it a little bit finer than the knife, but you can always go back and chop it finer with your knife if you choose. So let's talk a little bit about why would you mince this. So minced garlic is great when you really want your garlic to be dispersed throughout the dish. And minced garlic is just finely chopped garlic, which allows the sulfuric enzymes to escape and hits the air. That's what provides that nice garlic flavor that we have throughout our dishes. So what can you do with minced garlic? Minced garlic is great when garlic is in the title of any dish, but also where you really want that pungent flavor. It's good for adding to meatballs, if you want to add it with herbs and rub it on a steak or turkey, hello, holiday time, or anywhere where you really want that nice garlic flavor. Sauces, pestos too. Think of minced garlic like your best friend. You could pretty much be happy with it anywhere. All right, let's go for the third prep of our garlic, which is smashing it. Who doesn't want to smash something once in a while? This is a method I used to never really pay attention to, but I have come to really enjoy the smashing of garlic. So let's see how we do it and why and where we put it. Okay, so we're gonna take our garlic clove here, and again, it's still on the skin, so we're gonna give it a whack. We're actually gonna pre-smash it. How about that? Get us in the mood of smashing our garlic. You could cut off the little root end if you want, or leave it there. It's totally up to you. It doesn't hurt if it's in your dish. All right, so smashing it, all you have to do is just take your knife. I usually take my knife at the edge of the board so that the bulkiness of the knife doesn't impede in me smashing my garlic. And then I take the fat end of your knife there, lay it on the garlic, and then just smash it, rubbing it back and forth until you get pretty much a flat garlic. Why do we want to do this? Smashing garlic releases the juices, thus thoroughly permeating and infusing your liquid or dish. So with this type of smashing is that you're still releasing the sulfuric enzymes, but it's not going to be quite as pungent as minced garlic. So if you want less garlic taste in your dish, but you do want that flavor, then go with the smashed. So the third question is, so what can we do with it? So smashed garlic is good on roasts, stews, stir fries. It's where you want that mellow garlic flavor and one that's present but really not too strong. So you see that it is smashed. You can see that it's separated, but it's not finely chopped enough so that we're getting all those pungent flavors from the sulfuric enzymes that are released. You can put this into soups that you intend on blending smoothly. So in this prep, I like to think about that acquaintance that you have that you don't mind seeing, but you take them in small doses. All right, the last garlic prep step is the fourth one, and that is to leave it whole, minus the skin, of course. So you would whack it like we did the others to remove the skin, and then you're ready to go to leave it whole in whatever dish that you want to put it in. Okay, so our skin is removed, our garlic is ready. This is the easiest prep there is when it comes to garlic. Our second question is, why do we leave our garlic whole? Large chunks of garlic, whether it's roughly chopped or left whole, are great when you want that less pungent garlic flavor. So it's great to just take it as it is and rub it on toast like you would make for an Italian crostini or bruschetta, which is just rubbing garlic on a toast and then putting some herbs or a sauce or cheese on it, and you can serve it as an appetizer. It's great for if you are making even a grilled cheese sandwich and you just want a little bit of garlic flavor, just rub it on the inside of your bread, and then you have that garlic flavor, but it's not very strong. Another reason you would want to use not necessarily the whole garlic, but just bigger chunks, is that if a recipe calls for you to saute your onions and garlic at the same time, you want bigger chunks of garlic, because if you use the minced garlic, you're going to burn your garlic, because garlic is going to cook faster than onion if it's a much smaller piece. So two ways you can remedy that. Either use bigger garlic chunks when you cook it with onion, or let your onion cook until it's translucent, then add your finely chopped garlic. And then you don't have to worry about anything burning. What I think of using whole garlic and then rubbing it on toast or something simple like that, It sort of reminds me of that neighbor of yours that you don't see very often, but you're so glad that they're there. So there you have it, garlic 4 ways: roasted, minced, smashed, or leave it whole or roughly chopped. Bottom line, depending on how much garlic flavor you want on your dish, how you cook it, and with what ingredients you pair it is going to determine how you prep your garlic. Recipes will give you suggestions on how to prepare your garlic, but I like to think of a recipe as a guide, and then you change it up based on your preferences and your taste buds. Thanks for watching. I hope you gained some garlic value today. Please subscribe, click the thumbs up, share my video with your family and friends, and don't forget to add the notifications so that you get an email every time I upload a new video. Your support will help me to continue to create and produce content on this channel. Thanks again, and until next time, go bake the world.